Thank you all for coming. It is my honor to introduce our first presenter. This woman serves as Vice Chair of the Chester County Board of Commissioners, having been elected in 2020 and re-elected in 2023. She also sits on the Westchester University Council of Trustees and a Board of Governors of the Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education, PASHE. She is Vice Chair of the SEPTA Board, Chair of the Schuylkill River Passenger Rail Authority, and a member of the Philadelphia Mayor Sherelle Parker's transition team. Previously, she served on the Delaware River Port Authority Board and numerous nonprofit and regional planning boards. She's a real estate developer, commonly known, she's known for leading the transformation of Franklin Commons in Phoenixville, turning an abandoned industrial site into a vibrant center for education, business, and community use. She and her husband live in Chester County with our large, close-knit family and their beloved dog, Luca. She enjoys traveling, cooking, reading, and spending time with her children and grandchildren. Please welcome Commissioner Marian Moskowitz. I almost said dilute.
That's okay. My dog will answer to anything. It doesn't matter. Good morning, everybody. It is really an honor to be with you today for this year's Expo. This day is more than just information and resources. It's about showing our gratitude and reminding our veterans that they are never alone. Here in Chester County, we take that commitment very seriously. Our Department of Veterans Affairs works every day to connect veterans and their families with benefits, housing, health care, and job opportunity. Okay, I think I'm close. We're proud to support programs like our Veterans Court, which helps those facing challenges after returning home, and Chesco Connect, which provides transportation so our veterans can get to medical appointments and services. We also know that building community is essential. That's why we host events like this Expo, because bringing people together face to face is how we build trust and lasting connections. I want to extend a big thank you to Senator Katie Muth for her passion and dedication every day to help those who have served our country, and for putting this amazing expo together. To our veterans here today, thank you. Thank you for your service, your sacrifice, and your example. Please know that Chester County stands with you today and every day. Let's carry that spirit of gratitude and respect through everything that we do here today. Now, it is my distinct honor to introduce a true servant leader, Major General John R. Pippy. Major General Pippy currently serves as the 55th Adjutant General of Pennsylvania, where he leads the Department of Military and Veteran Affairs. In his role, he oversees one of the largest National Guards in the nation and directs programs that support more than 700,000 veterans and their families. A graduate of the United States Military Academy at West Point, Major General Pippy has proudly worn the uniform for over 3 decades. His distinguished service includes multiple overseas deployments in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Inherent Resolve. He is also a graduate of the U.S. Army War College, where he honed his leadership skills at the very highest level. Beyond his military career, Major General Pippy has served our Commonwealth as an elected official, first in the Pennsylvania House of Representatives and later in the Pennsylvania Senate, where he championed legislation and policies to strengthen the lives of veterans, service members, and their families. Today, he continues that mission by ensuring Pennsylvania veterans receive the care recognition, and opportunities they so deserve. Please join me in giving Major General John R. Pippy a warm welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner, for that warm introduction. I have to tell my staff to shorten my bio. Did you hear that, Angela? First, I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to Senator Muth. Thank you for hosting this incredible expo. As was mentioned previously, events like this are vital. They bring our community together to recognize, support, and most importantly, celebrate our veterans and their families. And that's really what I'm here to do today. It was mentioned we have over 700,000, roughly 700,000 veterans in Pennsylvania. Top 6 in the nation, if you think about it. And that speaks a lot about the men and women who have worn that uniform in all our different branches in the history here of our Commonwealth. You know, we love to talk about how every time our nation has needed us, generations of Pennsylvanians have answered that call to service. And it's just not them, though, it's their families. I always say, I got trained for my deployments. The Army spent a lot of money making sure that I knew how to complete my mission. We did not train our family members how to stay back and hold the home front. And that's why for me as the Adjutant General now, these programs like this, veterans programs specifically, and also their families are so important because we want to make sure that we not only honor the service of those who wore the uniform, but we honor the service of those who stood by them, whether it's friend, family, community. You know, we are getting ready for the America's 250th celebration next year. Pennsylvania obviously will have a big role in that. We're also going to have some World Cup. There'll be a lot of opportunities for us to recognize and celebrate. And what I'd like to do is share with you just a little history of the Pennsylvania Department of Military and Veterans Affairs, and specifically our Guard. Not all of you are aware that Pennsylvania has one of the oldest National Guards in the country. We date back to 1747, when Benjamin Franklin, just down the road, established the Associators to protect Philadelphia. And that was the first formal mustering of our Guard. And since that day, our Guard was with Washington when he went from Philadelphia to Massachusetts to establish the Continental Army. And our Guard has been involved in every major action, whether here in the Americas or overseas since then. Our 20th Infantry Division is the oldest actively serving division in the country. Not just Guard, active duty as well. So every time our nation or our Commonwealth has needed us, we have responded. I'm proud to be here not only as the head of those 18,000 men and women who wear the uniform in the Army and the Air Force, but the other side, and the part that really is almost it's a dream job for me, is having oversight of our Department of Military Veterans Affairs. It was mentioned we have about roughly 700,000 veterans. What you don't know is that is not 700,000 National Guard veterans. As a DMVA, think of us as the department that's responsible for all our veterans, whether you came from active duty or reserves or Guard, whether you were in the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Coast Guard, the Merchant Marines. You are part of our family. And at the Department of Military and Veterans Affairs, we strongly believe in the concept of one team and one mission, where we're all working together, make sure that not only do you get the benefits you deserve, but also that we're there to support you, whether it's with VA or with any type of programs. One thing that we've been working real hard on is how do we get out to our veterans? These events, Senator, are so important because it brings all the organizations together. But ours is a diverse Commonwealth, very urban areas and very rural areas. So we use programs called PA Vet Connect. We have regional offices. We work very closely with the county commissioners in each county to make sure that their veteran service teams are tied into what we do. So I just want you to know that we are working very hard to make sure that every veteran here gets the benefits he or she deserves. We also have 6 tremendous veterans homes, 2 of which are pretty close to here, Del Valley and Southeastern Veterans Center. And those are for veterans and their spouses and that are eligible. And those are world-class veterans homes to help our veterans, but now that they're out of uniform and need more services. I could go through a whole list of things, but I think, one, I know I'm before the senator, but also before Mission Barbecue, and I think the best speeches are the ones that don't go too long. But I'll just end on this note. We just opened up a Lickdale Veterans Center right outside of 48 Town Gap in Lebanon County. Our goal is to eventually have veteran centers around the Commonwealth where all those services are brought under one roof, federal, state, local, community, non-governmental. So Senator, we'll be working with you too, because we think this is an area, southeastern Pennsylvania is an area that is ripe for potentially the next one. But as we do that, know that you can reach out to us, whether it's online or by telephone. Our regional VSOs, they're willing to come out and visit you wherever you need it. I'm so proud to wear this uniform because of the service of everyone that I see here today. It's those who served in Vietnam. I was born in Ubon Air Base in Thailand in 1970 during the war. Now, since I'm being recorded, I won't tell the job. Yes, I will, because you know what? My dad was in the Air Force, and he came back from his deployment with a wife and a young kid. So obviously, Air Force, he had a little more free time than I did on my deployments. But the reason I share that with you is because my story is a story of almost every American. We all come from different backgrounds, but our love of country, our love of uniform, the hope that springs eternal from the men and women who wear this uniform, that is strong. Our country is stronger because of all of you. Pennsylvania is stronger because of all of you, and I'm just humbled to stand by you. So I want to thank you to all our veterans. I want to say God bless to you and your families, God bless to America, and God bless to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Now, before I step away from this podium, I want to do something that really makes me proud. I want to introduce State Senator Katie Muth. She has been a true champion, not only for the veterans within her district, like events today and all the advocacy you do, but across the whole Commonwealth since she's been in office in 2018. She's a minority chair of the Senate Veterans Affairs and Preparedness Committee, the committee that has direct oversight of the National Guard and also first responders. She has been a tireless advocate. I don't have to tell you, you know her. She's literally a tireless advocate, doesn't stop for the veterans and their families. She's served as a Democratic chair of that committee since 21, so the last 4 years. Not only has she helped us with legislation to improve veteran services, but also she's been an advocate for the active duty service members. Because that's the one thing I want you to understand is that, our veterans, this is about all of you, not just, whether you're Guard or Reserve or active duty. I also want to thank her just for hosting this tremendous expo. This is my second time, right? And it just continues to get better. To our color guard, by the way, great job. We're real proud of them and what they're doing. So, Senator Muth, I'd be honored if you could come up and share some words. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. I'm standing in the way of you and lunch, so I will try to be brief with my remarks. But as you know, I'm State Senator Katie Muth, and I've had the extraordinary honor of representing the residents of Senate District 44, which is parts of Berks, Chester, and Montgomery counties. I have also had the honor of serving as the minority chair of the Senate Veterans Affairs and Emergency Preparedness Committee in the state Senate. Working on sustainable funding solutions, expanding support programs and resources for our veterans here in our Commonwealth, their families, our National Guard members, and our emergency responders, EMS, fire, and police. I want to first, before I forget, thank our vendors. We have over 70-some vendors here, all providing different resources and programs for you and your families, and want to say thank you to them for coming out on a Saturday to spend your time to advocate for the work that you do. And I also want to thank Mission Barbecue for being here again. They're always a gracious feeder for all of us to have some tasty lunch. Ebrew Coffee, as well as Jim Ulinski, a Marine Corps veteran, Commissioner Moskowitz, and Brigadier General Pippy. And also, we have someone who's not standing up here but really should be. She is Anna Claudio, the Deputy Director for the Office of the Secretary of the Center for Women's Veterans in the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. So she came the whole way from Washington to be here to have a table. So she's down that way. So if you haven't met her, please stop by. She's a wonderful person. I also would like to thank Bill and Christina from the Expo Center and Skip Back Pharmacy. Emily's over there giving vaccines if you haven't gotten your flu or COVID shot. And our color guard from the Keystone State Challenge Academy. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for being with us and coming out to Senate District 44. Also, to all the members of law enforcement who have made this event safe for us, thank you for what you do today and every other day in our communities to keep us safe. Lastly, my team standing over here, wave to everybody, yeah. Nikki, Anthony, Jeff, Gareth, Liam, Deb, Emma. We have special volunteers, Claire and my husband, Trevor. Give them a round of applause. They make this job a little easier despite chaos and all things in the world. They're a wonderful team, and thank you for the work you do, not just today, but for all the constituents and residents of our Commonwealth. This is our 6th Veterans Expo since I took office. So we had to take 1 year off during COVID, otherwise it would be 7. But I just wanted to say thank you for coming together, all these vendors, everyone, state, federal, and local community organizations, to be here in this moment to provide these resources. And if someone isn't here that couldn't make it, please take all the information with you to pass on to another veteran and their family. This year's Expo event really feels especially important considering there's a lot of changes occurring in Washington, D.C. relative to veterans programs and benefits. And so I'm glad that we were able to pull everyone together in case there's an unmet need that we need to fill the gap for. I want to just take a moment then finally to honor all of you sitting here today who have served our country, and to veterans all over the United States, really. It is because of your courage and sacrifice that we live in a country where we can speak freely and tell the truth without fear and work together to build a more perfect union. All of you fought to defend democracy built on fairness, truth, and justice. The services and sacrifices of all of you and our veterans nationwide serve as an invaluable reminder that defending democracy is never about right versus left, but rather right versus wrong. All of you veterans sitting here across the ages fought so that truth would not be silenced, and you sacrificed so that freedom would not be crushed, and believed, as generations before you believed, that America must always strive to live up to its highest ideals. I admit that in recent days, maybe weeks and months, I've experienced a moment of severe concern about our government's ability to do its job and serve the people, both at the state and federal level. There's a lot going on. We haven't passed a budget. It's a little bit nerve-wracking. I'm sure you can relate. The feeling of helplessness can be overwhelming. And I don't know about you, but when I'm overwhelmed, I like to listen to music, and I found myself listening to one of my mom's favorite songs recently. My mom was the daughter of 2 World War II veterans, and she had a cassette tape, a mixtape. I'm dating myself with the cassette tape for the younger people that may not know what that is that are here. that she would play when she baked and cooked. And we actually used to march around our little ranch house because it had two little open entrances. Specifically, one of her favorite songs was the Battle Hymn of the Republic. And I think that lately, listening to that song sort of resets my brain, gets me ready, refreshed, just takes a moment. And I want to just say that the lyrics of that song, "Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on." That line, that truth is marching on, reminds us that truth is not fragile, but enduring. And it cannot be bought by billionaires or silenced by lies, and it can't be defeated by those who put power above principle. You all embody that truth when you stood to defend our democracy. And now it falls to us to honor your sacrifice and other veterans like you. We have to defend democracy by rejecting any sort of politicking or remembering that what matters is not, again, right versus left or blue versus red, but right versus wrong. It means standing up for freedom, for honesty, and for the people over the powerful. So today, I thank all of you for keeping me brave, reminding me of the mission, and all of our veterans that your sacrifices will not be in vain. We will carry forward the torch of democracy, we will cherish the truth, and we will work together to ensure that this country remains one where the people, not the powerful, hold the future in their hands. To every veteran here, thank you. Thank you for your service, and to your family, thank you for your sacrifices. Your courage reminds me and many others that truth cannot be silenced, that our freedom cannot be bought, and that the truth is still marching on, and that it always will if we are brave enough to march with it. Thank you for joining us, and please eat some lunch.